It's Mark Reed, and also he's brilliant because he can do everything. He can play every instrument. He's been in musicals, so we want to talk to him, and he's from Surrey.
Hey, Mark, you sound like you are an expert as well as Hayley about everything this time, though.
Oh, I don't know about that, but thank you very much. How are you? It's great to chat with you both. And I will say it's a noughties boy band as well. We're not that old. Well, actually.
Oh, I was just talking about myself being old.
90s and noughties. We're lucky. We're one of those bands that kind of crosses over, so we get to play both the 90s festivals and the noughties festivals, so it's great.
Yeah, good times. And it's still going strong, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been really manic this year. We've had, non-stop gigs and festivals, across Scandinavia as well. Off to Vietnam next week for some gigs over there. So and then we're coming back for a UK tour, which starts in September. So yeah, It's pretty full on at the moment.
Oh, we love that. And we want to talk about your musical theatre career, though, because I came to see you in Hairspray with Russell Grant. We love Russell, don't we? He's a legend.
He's absolutely brilliant. He was a real pleasure to perform with and work with. I actually did a bit of a strange one. I did panto with Russell as well years ago when I actually stepped in for a prince who couldn't make the last two shows. And this was in Aylesbury. And so I had to learn the script and learn all the parts without working with the cast. It was Suzanne Shaw and it was Russell Grant. So I just had to learn it off of video and then just step in for the last couple of shows. And it all went swimmingly well. It was great. And that was the first time I worked with Russell Grant. He was a lovely man. And it was great to work with him as Edna as well in Hairspray, just down the road in Southsea.
Yes. And you played Corny Collins.
Of course, yeah, Corny Collins.
We wanted you to do the voice there.
No. I'm very corny and very cheesy coming from the boy band, so that was perfect for me. I loved it.
But Hairspray is a brilliant musical, isn't it? It's one of those feel-good musicals, and you just sit there and, if you've seen the film, it's brilliant. And if you haven't seen the film, it's brilliant as well. It's just one of those musicals that everyone loves, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's one of the best. I mean, and no matter how many times you hear You Can't Stop the Beat, it just gets you up, gets you dancing. And funnily enough, I actually did that song as well as doing it in Hairspray. We did it in panto as well. So we did it like 64, 70 times in 1 month.
Whoa.
And maybe I was a little bit sick of it by the end of that, actually.
Because at that point, you go to bed and it's still going on in your head. You're like, shut up.
It really is. Oh, absolutely. But hey, great songs. And it was a great show to be a part of, and I love watching it as well. It's always a brilliant show to watch. It's one of the good ones.
Yeah, and last year you performed at West End Live with your song "Stop the Show." I'm a big fan of this song. As soon as I heard it, I was like, that needs to be in a show because it's just got that kind of show feel. But you actually wrote this song to mark the theatre's opening again, didn't you, Mark?
Yeah, well, it was during lockdown, and, what are you going to do? I'm just going to sit in my studio and write songs. So it was great in that respect. It was nice to actually get a little bit creative. And so I initially wrote a song about being stuck inside, and then I thought that Stop the Show would be the perfect song to mark kind of theatres opening back up again and music venues everywhere. But then it was a case of, well, I don't really know what to do with this song now. So I've written this song, so I just put it out there. And it kind of took on a little bit of a life of its own, to the extent of me actually performing it at last year's West End Live, which was great because it was the first one back after they'd missed a year, and people were asking me, "Oh, is this from a show? Is this from a show?" And which of course it wasn't. It's just a one-off song. It does sound very Greatest Showman. You could give her a little blast if you like on the radio, but it's very Greatest Showman. But I actually think I need to write a show around it, so I probably will at some point.
Yeah, you absolutely need to. And we had Sophie Louise Dan on last week, and was it right that you guys were in a show called Spoonful of Sherman?
Yes, we toured together all around the UK and Ireland, and that was a very special show because that was actually performing the songs performing the songs of the Sherman Brothers, of course, who wrote all the greats, all the Disney classics, from Jungle Book to Mary Poppins to Bedknobs and Broomsticks. So many fantastic songs, and we got to do that. And it's kind of like a song sheet show, a music review, but we also narrated the show as well. It was a real challenge because it was just myself and another musician, Ben Stock. We were both playing the pianos, and we had a kind of a dueling pianos, and the show was very fast paced, so we'd be swapping around on the pianos whilst performing the songs. It was amazing. It was a really fantastic show, but also to spend several months with Sophie and the rest of the great cast who have gone on to do some fantastic things. Jenna is in Les Mis. Glenn has just gone from Mary Poppins to being in the new cast of Back to the Future. And Ben Stock, who was my partner on the piano, he's very busy as well. So it was a wonderful show to be a part of, and I loved the experience.
But you're from a musical background, aren't you? You're from a musical family, should I say?
Yeah, very musical. I mean, goes back generations, really. My granddad was a performer, and my parents are both performers, and my nan is one of the 60s Tiller girls, so she can kick her legs higher than I can now. She still can. So it's very much in the family, and but the thing is I could have gone either way. I could have gone down the musical route, or I could have gone down the pop star route, and that just kind of came a lot more natural to me as I've been playing piano and writing songs since such a young age. So I actually went down more of the pop route, and I've kind of come back to the musical routes every now and again.
And which one do you prefer then, out of the two?
Oh, it has to be, being in a pop band. I mean, you can't compare anything to being on stage to thousands and thousands of people, and also not having to do the same thing every night. I mean, I do love musicals, but you really have to be a certain kind of performer to be able to do that for let's say up to a year. Whereas in when you're live in a band, you can actually change the set every night if you want to. So I slightly prefer the pop side.
Yeah, and you've got a new song out at the moment, haven't you, called Be Strong and Courageous. Tell us more about that.
Ooh. Well, I actually wrote that with a very good friend of mine, a gentleman by the name of Doug Hawley. He's from Surrey, and he writes songs for children's praise and worship. So it's essentially Christian music, but I gave it kind of like a very contemporary kind of sea shanty sound. And the song has just got a really positive message, about being brave. I mean, it's in the title, really. So it's a great fun tune. And I gather that churches and summer camps all over the country are using it at the moment, which is wonderful, which is a really lovely thing to know that so many kids around the country are listening to that song and finding it.
Yeah, well, we need to check that out. And also, am I right in saying you're at the Pavilion Theatre this Christmas for Jack and the Beanstalk?
Oh, yes, I am indeed. I don't know how much I can give away about that because I don't think they've officially announced the theme of the show. It is a little bit different to the usual Jack and the Beanstalk. That's going to get people wondering, but I'm very much excited about that. That's actually the third time I've been invited back to the Worthing Pavilion, and it's such a lovely venue. And it's always a great show. They put on a fantastic show there, great casts every year. And I'm super excited to be with somebody from probably mine and your childhood, Dave Benson Phillips.
Oh, I remember him.
Brilliant.
80s legend.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. And also there is a connection to Russell Grant because Russell Grant's dance partner in Strictly, Flavia, is also going to be in the show with us as well.
Okay, we need to go to this.
I mean, where's the tickets? I need them now. This sounds incredible.
You can get them now. And I will say this, and I know a few other places are probably going to fight me for this, but I think Worthing has the best sunsets that I've ever seen. Like, honestly, the sunsets down there by the pavilion, just absolutely wonderful. It's magical there.
Sold. Literally, Mark. We're there. But no, honestly, Mark, we loved having you on today to talk about A1 and your musical theatre career and your song as well. Check that out. Be Strong and Courageous. And yeah, thanks for joining us. I know you're back at the moment. You've been away in Sweden, haven't you? Where are you off to next?
off to Vietnam next, so
Right.
I'll catch up with you when I get back. But Hayley, congrats on everything. You're working so hard and doing so many great things, and it's great to have you on the radio as well as on the TV.
I give you that $5 later for that. Thank you, Mark Reed, everyone.
Oh, lovely to chat to Mark Reed. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you